The outtakes, man. Intake, outtakes. Yeah. Blood, freshen up yourself, yeah?
Don't give me too much. I did last time as well too. Look, see how you did it again. You got me twice. The first time I got this when I was trying to. You said my hand looked dirty. Allow me.
Oh no, bro. Is you right there? Is it? Social distance.
Just a little bit. Just keep it.
Yeah, we're never gonna. We're in tier 1 anyway. Don't watch that.
We're not in England.
Don't say that.
Yeah, one time.
Right then, this is part 2, but the part 2 is our first guest. Official win, lose or draw, blood. So there's a lot of people who speculated and said, yeah, but enough photographs been taken and all the rest of it, but the man himself's here now. Can I introduce to you the former Leicester, Liverpool.
Too many. Just leave it at that.
Leicester, Liverpool. Yeah, that one, that's up. Mr. Ems, Emile Heskey, how are you, my friend?
Good. Can't complain.
Alright, kid. So how should we start this thing, bruv? It's just informal. Sure.
Where are we going first on? Are we going to talk about the madness of the game? We're going to talk about the madness of the world.
We won't talk about that. Let's talk about which one? Arsenal game or the Liverpool game? Or which one?
Why do you have to go there?
I'm just saying, bro. Because he's asking if we talk about the game. I said, which one? The relegation game or the beautiful game? Where everyone's a winner. All right, yeah. Football wins in the end, bro. Football wins in the end, regardless of what happens.
Shout out Jimmy.
Yeah. Shout out Jimmy. We'll probably get Jimmy on there. He'll be a proper fella. Yeah, we're paying homage. We're paying respect to Mr. Gerard Houllier, the first proper international top ranking manager that I ever met. I'm taking it he was the first one that you ever played for. Would you say?
Yeah, look, I think obviously, it's funny because how we first come across each other. I was playing for England under 18s.
Okay.
Me and Michael up front. He was the manager of France under 18s, Captain Thierry Henry.
Aye.
Anelka.
Aye.
Trezeguet.
Aye.
William Gallas.
Bloody dropping, name dropping.
Mika Silvestre.
Aye.
Willy Sagnol.
Oh man.
Yeah, there was loads.
And you were playing against them.
Yeah.
Did you win?
I think we drew the game.
What?
I think we drew the game. They won the tournament.
But yeah,
They won the tournament. We come third in the tournament. We come third in the tournament.
Okay. So
But then obviously fast forward and he come to Liverpool and brought me to Liverpool to play alongside Michael.
yes. So you were at the time. You were the world record signing.
Not world.
Well, not world record, but Liverpool's world record signing.
Liverpool's
Yeah.
record signing.
So it's Liverpool's record signing. That'll do me. That's Liverpool's my world, so it's a world record. So yeah, and So when we brought you there,
What I was going to say as well, like I remember reading your part in your book and as well, and watching some of your previous interviews talking about that move. From the outside looking in, it looks like a big thing. It looks like a transitional move, but like you also spoke about some of the other things that you dealt with behind it as well, which I think is important.
Yeah, I think again when you look at football and footballers, you just look at the game.
Yeah.
But we forget that they're regular people. So you'll have anyone going to college, anyone going to work, or anyone going moving and doing all these regular things. You have ups and downs with that.
Yeah.
And because we're seen as on this pedestal, we're not supposed to have them problems.
Yeah.
But we go through the same problems as anyone else.
Yeah.
And he'll tell you, I'm from Leicester, so I've been around all my family. I'd moved out of my house, but I hadn't moved out of my house. I lived around the corner. He'll know.
Yeah, you kind of moved out.
Yeah.
Not quite. Yeah.
And then you've got to go 2-hour drive. That could be clean across the other side of the world, but that 2-hour drive for me was out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I found it tough, apart from on the football pitch.
Yeah.
Because that was my release. That was my. How can I say, get away from everything, and that was my norm as well. So that was, and so on the pitch was fine, but everything else it didn't adjust in the similar fashion as being on the pitch.
Yeah, I get you. 100%.
And I had to grow up very quickly, and I had 2 kids at the time as well.
Wow, yeah, so you had to be daddy, and then have to make those moves as well. Yeah, it's a lot.
But again, talking about Gerard, he was fabulous with that as well. So he was a guy that would ask you, how's your family doing? How's this doing? How's that person doing? How's this? And he'd really go into deep like that. And as well, he was a mentor in the sense of, you've got to do this more. You've got to be here. You've got to do this. You've got to, this is the way I want you to play. This is the way. And even down to diet, everything. He was just so meticulous in everything. I remember going on the training field, and no disrespect, we'd gone from Leicester where we'd concentrate more on ourselves in the sense of, it was all about us. But then we went to, when I went to Liverpool, it was about everything.
Selfless.
You know, the details.
It was all team stuff.
The details that we were going at. We would do a 45 minutes session, and we wouldn't have a ball. Wow. It's just positional. Yeah. He would have a ball, and he would just say the ball's there. We'd have to move around. You'd have to. It was. But then when you look back, you're like, okay, I understand why he's doing that now. And now I'm on that other side, the other side of it, where you're trying to look at coaching. Yeah. You understand why he goes through, why he's done all that. Yeah. But you want to make it a little bit more fun. But how do you make it fun?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's that man management.
Yeah.
Well, then you put your own little spin on it and make it fun. How you want to. So yeah, Mr. Houllier. Well, as I said, the first I've met Houllier a few times, a good few times actually, because staying up in Liverpool, that was my second home to it. Staying with Ems all the time, so obviously instead of just staying in the house, I would go training with him. Not actually physical training with him, but I would sit down and eat breakfast and play table tennis and watch TV and all that sort of stuff and chat to the staff. So I'll see him glancing. And Phil Thompson and all the rest of them and all the teams and what's not. But I was telling the youngster about flipping me going there. No, let's not tell that story yet. We'll get back to that. The biggest memory for me was, I was telling the missus the other day, it was not a good time in your life. When Granny passed. Granny passed in Antigua, and you had a big game on, and it was Roma versus Liverpool. I come up for the game, and then I come up, and then we were, after the game, regardless of the score, I was taking him and the partner to the airport straight after the game. So from when the whistle changed, we're gone, straight to Gatwick, and that's what happened. But actually bumped into Gerard, and you just saying, oh yeah, Biggs, isn't it? Yeah. Look after my boy. I need him back. And this is the day that he came back to Liverpool. That was his first game after the heart surgery and what's not. And everything just dropped in place. Mr. Ems here scored. We needed to win by 2 clear goals. He scored the second goal. I was in my element. Everybody was shouting his name. It was just bouncing. It was great memories for me personally. I was there with about 4 or 5 of my friends. We all got into the players' lounge. We just meeting all the players. M's come out, and Mr. Fredlocks was there actually. But see, when you see the picture that I put up on Facebook and Insta and what's not, that picture was taken by another guy called Fred. So big up Fred. Because I took him on a few journeys with me. So he's seen a lot of things. So yeah, that picture there was when he come back, and he was very nice and he was very accommodating, and he took it with us in the corridor, innit? Yes.
The thing is, he didn't need to, and this is the thing, he didn't need to let me go, because one thing you got to remember.
Yeah.
My grandma didn't pass away in Leicester.
Yeah.
My grandma passed away in Antigua. Yeah. So I had to fly.
Yeah.
And stay there for 2-3 days and come back and try and play again as well. So he didn't need to let me go to that, but he was that family orientated.
Yeah, but he knew it, innit? He just
said, yeah, go and do your thing. and make sure you come back ready.
And it was important for you to go.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? Because Nanny, I was brought up by my nan, and Emile's nan had a big part in his life. You know what I mean? So it was those sort of things. When a manager empathizes with all the situations, all the family stuff around you and what's not, it's just good that he's got your back. You know what I mean? That wants you to play for him even more. You know what I mean? To give you that effort, because that was something that you will always cherish.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? Because not some managers say you can't go. We
Can't
need
go.
you.
Yeah, well,
We're paying you blah la la per week. You know what I mean? You're staying in.
And that is the thing. And I was lucky enough. To play for managers that were okay with that sort of stuff, because I've got kids, so having kids, making sure I can go and watch, be there when they're being born and stuff like that. Yeah, they were fine like that.
Yeah,
that's
I can
good.
imagine it. It's like one thing I wanted to touch on as well. I was watching earlier the Stan Collymore interview that you done, which was really good as well, by the way. But he was talking about the value now. You was mentioning about the value of the physicality of players.
Yeah.
I kind of grew up in that era of like physical football, you know what I mean? Like getting stuck in challenges, that sort of thing. And then you can see now we're coming away from that a lot more. So like you can touch on a little bit more of like what you see from modern day strikers, if you see anything that emulates the same level what they used to have, or if you think it's changed.
It's got to change though, isn't it? And as well, I was speaking about it before, and we used to play with two up front, so you'd kind of work off each other. Cole York, myself and Michael, you know, Kevin Phillips and now Quinn. These sort of players, you work off each other. You form a partnership, a telepathy that you know exactly what he's going to do. So you're already in place to capitalise on that. Yeah. So you don't really get that anymore. We used to work the channels. We used to bring players in. We used to run past players. They don't really have to do that now. They stay in the middle. They're just working in that little space,
or whatever,
and they're getting in the box. That's it, really. So they're missing out on a lot, to be honest with you. So when you're seeing, especially when you're seeing, say for argument's sake, a team's down, and you're saying, all right, well, they need more players on. They need another striker on. They need to go and play, and they need to get a goal. So they throw another striker on, but you got your other striker on as well, right? You watch them both playing up front with each other. They can't do it because they've never done it.
I know what you mean.
So they're both making the same run. They're both like, well, what are you going
but bumping into each other in the box, going for the same header.
Because they've never done it before, and they don't do it because now we've got this thing of we must play one up front or three up front, two wide and one in the middle. Whereas before we were 4-4-2, but we'd work off each other, because if you watch me and Michael, yes, when we actually had the ball, we were two up front, but when we didn't have the ball, we kind of rotated, and one stayed up front in the middle, and the other one worked behind, and he was kind of in the midfield. So we kind of understood that side of it. Whereas now it's just, it's changed a little bit. Like someone asked me, who plays like you now? And I said, well, no one needs to play like me now, because there's not that sort of football anymore.
It's true. It's true. That kind of hold up player. I mean,
you can't throw your body around anyway. It's a foul. You go in near anyone, you lean on anyone, it's a free kick. Sometimes a booking. So it's totally different now. You've got to be very, very clever with your movements now. You see Vardy really doing very well, because again, it's different to what they used to.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. Non-league element of like that.
Vardy kind of old-fashioned like that, though.
Well, that's what I mean.
It's
it's totally different to what they used to. So they used to a striker just staying there, not really much movement, and get the ball in and lay it off and get in the box. But he wants to have it slid down the side. He wants to have it over the top. He wants to challenge you. He wants to tackle you. He doesn't want you to have an easy time. So it's totally different now. But you're talking about 30 players that are soon to be 34.
So he's still kind of old-fashioned, isn't he?
No,
he's on the back end of it.
True.
So he's learned the grassroots. Kick and go true.
Basically.
So we've touched on all the rest of it. Houllier, we're still there. So from the picture, one of the moments that I told youngster, very surreal moment. I can't remember what game it was. But Liverpool had won at Anfield. Went out the night after, the same night, and you got good training on Sunday. That was the whole thing. the amount of time. We need about, I don't know how many episodes we're going to do. We'll probably need 100 episodes. Yeah. But the nights out in Liverpool Town Centre were absolutely legendary.
First one where no, you didn't tell him the first one where you took me out. So I'd never been out in Liverpool before. I don't know, you really just got...
Well, no. That was what, with Nige though? Nige?
No, it was just, I think it was just me and you.
Just me and you? And what, we went out just like normal people?
Yeah.
And you just got, it was impossible.
Like,
Well...
But the thing is, you got to remember, I'm coming from Leicester.
of course.
So everyone knows me in Leicester, so it's fine.
Yeah. So right, yeah, go on then. So
then I'm going
went
to
out.
Liverpool. I'm £11 million signing, and I'm playing for the national team as well at this time as well. So I'm known, but I'm not. I'm just thinking, yeah, I can go out. And he's took me down.
Ems doesn't. You see, with him now, he doesn't. He forgets who he is sometimes. No, but this time we were quite naive. Well, we weren't naive, but we were naive. We were naive. We've gone down a proper, normal, standard, High Street, Saturday night, Sharon's and John's all over the place, bro. Yeah? Lean! When I said they're lean,
And
and
when I say jumped on, jumped
fully jumped on.
Yeah, man.
lifted me up,
he
grabbed me,
got
threw me all around.
mobbed. Man had to go in there, separate. Them times there, Biggs was a bit. I'm nice. I'm nice guy now. But them times they're a bit gangster big, so it was more of a bodyguard sort of thing, and we had to just get out, and then we just went out, and then we went to the civilized part, shall we say, the living rooms, mosquito, baby blue, yeah, them sort of style there, and yeah,
But
guest
we never knew
list.
anything about that before, because again it was just, where can we go for a drink?
Come on, impossible. But from that day we learned. And it was
experience.
it was great. Anyway, that was just one out of thousands. Went into Melwood. All right, big yeah, pass. All right, lad, then get my cornflakes, get my little fruits and what's not. Both. So I'm sitting here. Behind me, Danny Murphy and I think it was Gerard playing table tennis. There's a pool table over there. Is it Egham? Is it Egham?
Yeah.
Egham, that's his name, isn't it? Yeah.
When I first got there.
Yeah. He was over there on the pool table. Then you look outside the big window, and then you just see man's running around training, whatever else. Em's got down, got his boots. Well, sit down and thought, yeah, this is wicked. La 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 la. Half an hour's gone past. Everyone's come back up. All right, cool. And then on the TV, Sky News, there's Liverpool, and now the Liverpool I'm watching on the TV has now started to sit around me. So everyone's here.
Yeah.
And then all the teams are sitting there. Gerard's at the top. Mr. Julio's at the top. Phil Thompson's there. And I'm just looking around. And then looking at the TV. And then looking around. And then looking at the TV. Them moments for me.
Yeah, that must be surreal.
Mind blowing for me personally. Today, you know what I mean? There's certain experiences I had that I would never ever forget. And, you know, I was very lucky to be in that position, you know what I mean? Because you don't have to take your brethren to the training ground, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's just those sort of things. So, Mr. Houllier, he had time for signing autographs. He signed pictures that we took. I was in his office. He gave me pens and just whatever, you know what I mean? He just had time. You know, I haven't met Klopp yet. I'm thinking he's that same sort of a person, but you know, I'll have to talk about the people that I actually know and actually met, and he was one of them. So we say R.I.P. and all the rest of those good stuff. Thoughts with the family, and yeah, he was definitely a good man. He shaped Emile. He shaped Emile. He shaped Liverpool. He shaped everything to what we know now, because it all changed. What else would I like to touch on?
I was going to say.
Go on.
To cut you in real
Go
quick. What was amazing from my perspective was growing up and obviously playing and loving the game. Racism and the things that we dealt with over the years, we know where we're at with that. But seeing icons like yourself and Righty were like kind of the beacons for a lot of our generation, especially people my age group, around like the 30 years old age. So what must have that been like as well for you coming from a humble...
Do you know the funny thing is I never thought about it. Sorry, let me rephrase that. I did think about it because, again, one thing you've got to what people, black people understand is we represent ourselves. So you've got to represent yourself in a certain manner because, again, you want to be moving away from they're aggressive, they're this, they don't know what they're talking about, they don't know. Yes, the stereotypical stuff. So you're always thinking about how am I presenting myself, how am I doing this, what am I look like, blah. And you do think that, but again, I didn't overthink that. And it's only now I realise when I have players, so I'm 42, when I got players who were 35, 40, saying that you done so much for me growing up and playing and the way you played and this, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, you did.
But I didn't pay no attention to it. So it's nice to hear that from them to say, yeah, because I played this way and you helped me get to this and do this. And I never thought about it.
Yeah.
The only thing I thought about was I had to present myself in the right manner because, again, we're easily manipulated and easily, So we have to be careful when we're in that limelight to be presenting the right person. So you can overthink that at times. Yeah. But I always thought that. But I never thought about, I'm helping this one pave a way for himself. I'm helping that one pave a way for himself. And it wasn't until now when I bump into these players who are still retiring themselves. You don't realise what you're doing for me. I'm like, yo, what? But it's nice to hear.
Yeah, of course it is.
Because again, I did it from such a young age, and this is the thing that I forget at times. I started at 17. I was a kid.
Young,
I was a kid playing football. With
Big
I
mean, he was a big.
Yeah, I was a big. Yeah,
and
it's funny because I was talking to someone and he says that he knows Steve Agrizovic, goalkeeper at Coventry. Yeah. He goes oh, I told him that I was coming to see you, and he goes, oh yeah, tell him that my chest is still hurting from when he ran into me. And I said, yeah, but to be honest, I was 18 and I was a brute back then, and I felt sorry for anyone that ran into me at 18. But
that was the game.
Yeah,
that was the game.
It was a physical game.
It was a tough physical game.
You had to be because
he was young as well on the pitch.
He was the youngest or one of the youngest on the pitch. Yeah. But with a big man size. Yeah. So you have to. Yeah.
So but the thing is, I knew how to put it about as well. That was the worst thing. Yeah. And because I played, the funny thing is, from the age of like 12, 13, I was playing with 18-year-olds in the local area. So we had like a youth club. Yeah. And I'm playing with all these big men. I know you know what it's like. If you complain or cry, don't come back. Don't come back. They won't let you play again. Yeah. So I had to.
Tough.
Yeah. Getting kicked, you just got to. So
until you got to the size and then you started.
Then you started.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
So I was used to getting kicked. I was used to getting pushed around and stuff like that. So when you actually get to the age where you actually can hold your own, it's another kettle of fish.
Yeah. 100%. Did you ever see a transition in the physicality in the game while you were still playing? Or was
Not the physicality, just the pace.
Just the pace, yeah.
So I'd gone from being 18, being quicker than everyone else and everything. And then, so going back to Julia, going to Liverpool 22, and diet, training, everything changing. And everyone just go, you're like, whoa, everyone's quick, everyone's strong. What can I do next?
To get a little edge.
So now I was in between the two, but now it's another level of the pace. Yeah. The pace of the game is just another level. Yeah. I wouldn't say the technically any better than what we were.
Yeah, I was going to say the similar thing as well. I don't think 15, 20 years ago.
No, they're not technically
look
any
at
better.
Bexes and Gerrard and
Andy Coles, all these.
Technically,
brilliant.
Skulls,
fitness, and looking after their body 24/7. Another level, man. Yeah. Another level.
Yeah, 100%. Wrong things.
Good.
I think I cut you off.
Nah, but you never cut me off. We're just freestyling. We're just going in because it's love. Everything's good.
I'm just humbled to just be in the presence.
Nah, man, we're good, man. We're good. Everything's lovely. What else was I gonna touch on? Let's just go to recent games. Yeah, let's just go to recent games and our football team now.
Oh wow.
Emile. Of course.
Can we rewind though?
Let's rewind. Rewind a little bit.
Yeah, to leaving.
Leaving where?
What do you think?
Oh, but that day was sad.
No, you know what? You say it was sad. It was just it come to an end where it was inevitable that things are not just going to carry on.
Yeah.
Now, for myself, it was disappointing because I still had a year left, and I'm a man that likes to fight for what. And if anyone says, "Yeah, good luck, you can fight for your place," cool.
Yeah. I'll sit on the bench until I get my chance. Cool. Let's go.
But I wouldn't be there for long.
No, exactly.
But then Chief Exec came to me and said, "So and so's coming in. I think it was CSA's coming in. You can go and speak to. We've accepted an offer from Birmingham." I said, "That's fine. I'm cool with that. I'll fight for my place." No. CSA's coming in, and you're not going to play. I went, okay. So I had a dilemma of sitting there and just sitting for a year doing nothing, which I wouldn't have done nothing. I would have.
Yeah, you'd have played in the cup games and all the rest of it.
Well, not even the cup games. I'd have fought and probably come back in.
Yeah.
But I got it in my mind that someone told you that you're not going to.
He didn't want you there, didn't it?
Yeah. So in the end, I just said, "Look, let me go." Yeah. And the worst thing is they went and won the Champions League that season. Which it is what it is. I died though, you know.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that came to an end there. But
that must have been.
Do you know what? It was.
Especially considering the type of player you was.
Yeah.
You're not the kind of.
And the funny thing is, so Guillaume Balaguer, he's the Spanish presenter.
Yes.
So we played somewhere. I can't remember where it was. And he goes, Benitez is coming in. Are you staying? No. Benitez is coming in. He would love to play with you up front. I said, well, I've already signed with Birmingham. It was too late. That was yeah. And I think he brought in Morientes and players like that. Yeah. Carl Chico.
Changing. Well, you could kind of see it across the league as well a little bit. Like different clubs did it. I mean, when we went from Vieira to the Fabregas move, it was like to the fans, it was like what? Like you see big Vieira, and then it's just like a completely new shift of system.
Yeah.
You can see it across the league.
But again, they got rid of Michael. Michael left as well. Michael went to Real.
Yeah, that's right.
Danny Murphy left as well.
Yeah.
So it was a few key players that were just leaving at that time, and I wasn't even that old at the time. I think I would have been 26.
That's perfect.
Yeah, I would have been 26. But yeah, no, that was that. It came to an end, but then fast forward now.
Nah, well, we might as well stay right there, innit? Golden moments. What other little stories can we just let's do this one. Right. So now I'm up Liverpool again, staying at Emile's. We have got, you had just left, I think. Yes, you just left. I think so. And we had got passes, but this one was unusual for me personally because I had to be suited and booted. And we went to watch Olympiacos versus Liverpool. That was
Harry
at Anfield.
Harry Kill scored, didn't he?
Gerrard scored the screamer.
Oh, stop it. That one.
Yeah. Gerrard!
Them ones.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something now. So the story's coming in. Yeah, so we're driving up and what's big, we're going to be late. We're going to put your foot down, put your foot down. At the time, we're in the bad man, Brabra, son. The boost, yeah. Long. I think that someone still got it somewhere. You know, I'm going to look for that car. You know? I'm going to look for that car. Someone still got it somewhere. I did do my little homework just about 2 weeks ago, just to see if the reg was still alive and what's not. It hasn't been taxed for about 4 years. Does that mean someone's got it? It's parked up somewhere. But I'm going to bring that back to life. Anyhow, I found that car. Anyway, so boom, going down the flipping M6 or whatever it was now. Buff, coming late, bruv. We got tickets. But now we got to be in the press just before it's the press bit, innit? We were meeting the agent, whatever else, phone calls, yeah. So we have got there literally with seconds to go. Emile being the person he is, because you can't go there, man. I said, so where are we gonna park? Were we gonna park the bad man car just like on Anfield Road? Like, no, bro, that's not gonna happen. We're just talking. I could see a barrier and police in front, and Em was just like, so what are you gonna do then? I just went up to the barrier. The glass was black. Put the window down. I said, mate, we're got to go and do some press interviews and da. Is there any chance we can go through here? Oh no, it's all closed, mate. So he bent his head in like that, and saw the gentleman over there. He said to the other policeman, "Oh, can you move the barriers, please?" Emile's coming through, and he walked us through the crowd. You remember that? And I was saying to Em, bruv, you've got to remember who you are, you know. So you don't use yourself like I use you.
That's what I mean to say.
He loves all that. We go to any car park anywhere.
Bruv, Em's at Bolton. Em's is at Villa. He said, where you park? I said, next to you. He said, what are you talking about? I said, I'm in the players' car park. I don't business. Man don't business, yeah.
And you know the Villa players' car park?
Yeah.
It's
tight.
a compound.
Yeah. Man, just come in there. Of course you can get. I got in there, bruv. He said, who you? Yeah, Emile left me tickets. La la la. He said, not gifts to the gab. You have to be assertive. You have to know how you doing your thing, yeah. And you have to look man in the eye and tell them straight what you're doing, how you're doing it, and when you're doing it, yeah. And that's the difference. That's what I talked to the policeman, and that's why we got walked through. We got walked through, yeah, by the same guy. Everyone was thinking, it's magic. No. It's Emile. Yeah, it's simple. Anyway, I parked in the actual Liverpool car park for the first time ever in my life. We walked through the little, where we always used to walk when we was coming out and holding the kids and trying to run in before everybody get the foot. All the signatures and thing. But you know what? Again, my friend, he always had time for the fans, always signing an autograph till we've been in restaurants and what's not, just eating and chilling out. Food in his mouth, and man, could you? I just like, it's just like, Biggs, let me talk to you for a minute, please. You know, I mean, edge him out like I do. But yeah, we went for that game. That was a lovely little story. Went for the game, sat down. I'm there, suited and booted. I'm sitting next to a guy I don't even know him. Just talking about Liverpool. So yeah. So what do you do? No. Just chatting. Emile and the agent is sitting behind me and what's not. Scored a goal. Yes, get up. Lovely, beautiful. Woo, yeah, look behind, yeah. Everybody's clapping. Yeah. Sit back down, nice padded seats. And we know the time's running out. I just see the ball got played. And I thought, I just looked down. I thought, who's running onto that? It was Gerard boy, and he was like a train boy. And he let it go. Before it went in the back of the net, I jumped up out the seat, boy, because I could see that it was the keeper. The ball was here. The keeper's hands were here. I knew it was on target and it was going in, and it was just Gerard. Mate, he just went running to the cop. I was like, matey, I didn't know him from Adam. We're hugging up. We're going mad. You know what I mean? Em's
Yeah,
behind.
I can imagine.
Nah, man. But he's a Liverpool fan. He should have been jumping up like me.
Oh,
But yeah, he must keep his composure.
Do you know what?
Chat.
Yeah, now that you brought that up, you bring up, that's a great point, you know. I was going to ask Ems. Do you ever like celebrate like a fan? Feel the need to celebrate? Because I know you've been in that stage. It's probably different for you.
No, not really. No. Just
a little.
That's enough.
That's enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
But not the same as when you was obviously celebrating scoring goals and that's
you'll never
No.
The thing is, you don't get that feeling.
No.
Even now, when you're watching a game or when you're thinking, when you're watching your kids play a game, you don't get and this is the thing, when people leave football, you've got to understand that there's an adrenaline and a high they get that they won't get from anything else. And this is why they struggle a lot when they finish. Because they're so used to one, system and structure, and two, highs that they will never ever get back again. So this is why you get people who struggle a lot when they finish.
So it's kind of like learning to live
without that again.
And then without
and
again,
as well, it's actually planning for life without that. That people don't plan. I think London Farm. I think there's an article, London Farm. A lad who played for Southampton went to drugs, alcohol, and gambling. and he was Southampton captain, playing in the Premier League for how many years. He suddenly didn't have it, all that anymore. So where'd you go? And there's more now, but before there was nothing. There was nothing for you to actually go to.
Yeah.
But again, education is a key thing, because again, education is showing you your route after.
Yeah, exactly. Giving you
other options. So you should have dual careers. Which is difficult when you're playing in the Premier League and stuff like that, but you should have the dual career.
Yeah.
Women football have dual careers.
Yeah.
So you look at some of the England players, national team, they're lawyers. They're A licensed coaches.
Yeah.
At our club, our centre back, who's an A licensed coach, and she's a registered solicitor lawyer.
Let me cut you there, because some people don't know that you actually look after the Leicester ladies now.
Yeah. And when you say look after, I'm an ambassador for them, and I do a bit of coaching as well.
Yeah, but you're there for the mental.
I was actually working today on the men's game for a TV. But while I was watching that, I had my laptop, my iPad watching the women's as well. They won 3-2 against Blackburn.
There you go.
Top of the league.
There you go.
Oh, I love that.
Top of the league because of you, bruv. You're going to be manager of them.
Influence is important, though, and information, knowledge.
Look, anything I can pass on is key, and I'm here to pass things on. I'm not here to hold everything for myself.
Yeah,
that's what I've said.
That's enlightening. That's
what I said.
To have, though.
I have to do that.
You know, when you leave the game, when you've had that access to those kind of resources and stuff, it's very easy to just recline back in and to say I'm good.
Yeah, no, it is easy, but again. The thing with football as well, with people, you've got to be open to listening to what people want to say. Now, and that goes for when you're going into management. You might look at manager, well, he doesn't know what he's talking about. No, well, he's there for a reason, and you're not there. You're not where he is, and you probably haven't been where he has. So listen to what he's got to say. Some things you might take in and go, well, that's not really relevant to me. Let me take that out. But that bit I like. Yeah. And you use it.
Yeah.
Now, young kids will talk about, oh yeah, I've got all this talent, and I'll say, well, what about your work rate? Yeah, and they'll say, I don't need to work because there's a talent. No, if someone else can outrun you, your talent's nothing. I just went past you. I'll keep running past you. I'll keep running past you.
All skill is behind you.
You know, the thing is, I always say to some young lads, they say, oh, why is he playing ahead of me? Okay, so what does he do better than you? Well, you know, what does he do better than you? Oh, well, he works harder than me. He's not as skillful as me. Well, I'll tell you what, have a look at how much he runs, because everyone's data's there.
Yeah, it's all there now.
Yeah, have a look how much he works, where he works, and you do exactly the same, if not more. And then, if you're telling me that you're better than him skill-wise, your skills and all that sort of stuff should be should give you the yes,
the edge.
Simple. It's not rocket science. Now, within the women's football, I say fitness is key, because we're professional. A lot of them are not. So now, when you're looking at the reason you have, say, for example, the League 2 teams playing against a conference side, and the reason you probably have the conference sides doing well in one match is because of adrenaline. But if you played them regular, that side who's training every day should beat you, because you only train Tuesday and Thursday night. Fitness.
Of course, you're not going to get that extra.
That extra insight, that extra knowledge, or whatever it is. Now, when we're full time at the women's, so really we should have that edge. Whereas most of them are not full time.
Yeah, but you're top of the league, so you have got the edge.
No, but again, why?
Yeah,
it's because we got attention to detail with certain things as well. We got good coaches, and we make sure they should be fit. But when you look at us compared to, say, your Man Cities or your Man Uniteds or your Chelseas, there is a little bit of a difference. And it will be the same difference as if you look at us in the lower.
The next stage, tear down. I get you.
So
I mean, the women's game, you can see, it's like
it's getting huge, man.
It's huge.
But the thing for us, and look, I'm in the women's game now, so I will defend it. But when you read about the women's games, so I think Sky and BBC are taking up certain games for the WSL one. We're Championship.
Okay.
So when I look at that and I see the comments about it, everyone's looking at the women's game as comparing it to the men's. But we don't compare. When you look at athletics, we don't compare the men and the women. Not do we?
Yeah, true. Very true.
So why are we going to compare them in this?
You know what? It's because it's so big, and the men's game, the men's Premiership Football League is so massive. That's the only kind
Why
of
is
thing. Oh, that's because the players there in it, isn't it?
Investment.
Yeah, obviously,
Investment.
but it's all
But
TV money and what's not.
They haven't had the same investment. So when you look at the women's game, I'll give you a bit of knowledge. When you look at the women's game, was it 30 years or maybe even be 50 years? Might even be longer. Women weren't allowed to play football.
Oh, really?
When you go back far enough, women used to have 60,000 spectators watching them play. The men didn't have that. They stopped the women from playing, and the women weren't allowed to play. So they're actually behind.
Because
Stopped from playing. It was legal.
You learn something new every day, boss.
Now, when you have the investment coming in, you're going to get the better players coming in, and you're going to get a structure. Now, we've had the structure for how long for the boys? We can go. Your boy can start at. Okay, let's look at we've all got boys, and we'll take them to the park. Would we take our girls to the park to go play football? So the boys have, from the age of 2, the boys have got an advantage there.
Yeah.
Then they get to 4 and 5, and you let them play out on the street. They go and play with their mates and go and play football. So that's unstructured football as well, yeah? The girls, you will not allow them to go and do that.
Yeah.
And they haven't got the mates. They haven't got the mates to go and say, knock on yours, knock on them, and form a 10v10 or 4v4 or whatever. Or just play
and make goals and stuff.
They haven't got that.
You're right,
so you're
a lot
4
of the
years
girls,
behind them, 5 years behind.
A lot of girls or women
And
have been playing with their brothers or whatever else
that's
in the
one
game.
person.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah,
That's one person.
Like random
Yeah.
numbers, Right.
So then you'd go to schools, and you say, okay, from school age up to say they leave, you will go into PE, and everyone, even the worst footballer has to play. Yeah, and like you're saying, only one girl can come in and play that. The girls don't. The girls you get them come and play tennis or netball or something like that. So they're even further behind.
Yeah. So by the time they get to, they could get to an adult age, and now it's just too late.
They've never had the
You can't
training.
formulate
But
them.
then you want them to be Wayne Rooney. You want them to have the same skills of this person or that person or this person.
Yeah, you're
It's
right.
just not.
It's not even in the same world.
No. They've started. The FA is slowly starting to put things in, which is great. So there's a thing called Wildcats and stuff like that. So that's from 5 to 10 or 5 to 13 or something like that. So they have all these things like they're putting in place now. But
it's
still far behind.
So far behind, yeah.
And
if the game's continue going like that, you constantly to stay in.
But then you get to a certain age, as in, so us as spectators in the women's game, they get to see them on television and say, oh, this is rubbish. But they haven't had the same structure as your son.
That's it. Yeah.
They haven't had it.
Yeah.
So we've just got to look at it as what it is and try and enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
And it's totally different as well.
Yeah.
It's just totally different. So.
Well, that's a good thing. Yeah, it's totally different, as he says. All right.
But it's coming up.
Yeah.
It's coming up, and the thing is, the rapid growth. There's so much growth there in women's as there's so much more growth in women's than there is in men's.
Yeah.
Where can men's go, really?
Yeah, you're right. They're tweaking the rule. They're trying to tweak rules.
Rather than actually making better players. Trying to tweak rules.
Yeah.
Whereas women's can make better players.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, you're very right about that. Like the room for growth is the biggest thing. Yeah, because you think back to when the original days of now you look at all of the technology men have at their disposal, the agencies, the clubs, the sponsors, the fitness.
All up until. So when you're looking at I'll talk about Rachel Yankees and players like that. They probably didn't have pitches to train on.
Real talk. How many goals she scored for England? How many goals?
She's got over 100. She's got over 100 England caps.
Oh my god.
But if you're not into football, you wouldn't even know who she is.
Yeah,
Alex Scott is a presenter now, so everyone thinks she's a presenter. She scored in Champions League final.
Yeah, she's
there's not many people who can say they've scored in the Champions League final.
She's an Arsenal legend, isn't she?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, I know about because I'm Arsenal. I know, but like you said, if you don't know football, or if you don't know the,
no one will know that she's
just a presenter on the One Show or whatever it is, or whatever. Or the Sky Sports pundit or whatever. That's nice looking. Yeah. Oh, didn't she play ball for a little while? Yeah. Nobody knows what team she played for or anything like that.
Yeah.
But that's probably why, when you're saying you're going back and give me some knowledge, is the men could see there was a lot of emphasis on the women. And they had to take that away to get the crowds.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, obviously.
Again, they're still playing catch up. Yeah. Because again, you go into women's football, and I don't mean to put people's business out there. That they didn't have a kit for England and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? You took a national team. Yeah, they struggled to get kit.
Yeah,
come on, man. Yeah, we're flying around all over the place, and they're struggling to get kit.
Yeah, you got 2 free kits for the day.
I'm giving away kit because I don't really want too many. Exactly. We used to have one for each half and one to swap.
I know. I got a few of them.
Yeah.
They were signed up.
But then you're going into there, and it's a totally different. But it's moving
in the right direction. But you still want hunger from it. Where they were still hungry because they knew they had to graft to just get the smallest of things. Yeah. Now it's kind of given. You want to still want that fight and hunger. Yeah, I get you. Still want that fight. You need balance.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, Bob, we could go on and
we
on
could,
and on.
But you got to get back.
Well, listen. At the end of the day, I said to everybody when I first started doing this thing, we're gonna try and put this on not another level, but just a bit different from the norm.
Bridge some gaps, innit?
Bridge some gaps. There's I'm lucky enough to know a few people in that gap that we're trying to bridge. Yeah. There was nobody else that I was having as my first guest on this thing.
But I have to come back because we have to look at what's the next.
You see what I mean?
This is what
you see what I'm saying?
Because again,
he said he has to come back.
Wow.
Because you can't just look at that and then just I don't end here.
I know, but
I like
listen.
That. I like that.
You're part of the channel now. This is
but
you.
But this is the thing, I don't end here. I've got so much more because again, this is the thing, and it's exactly what I said before, where you're talking about footballers and they don't have the vision because we're only looked upon as the pitch, whereas we've got so much more to give back to the game as well.
Yeah.
So hopefully, in the next 6 months to a year, I'll have some.
Yeah, I know it's alluding to.
Yeah.
Exactly what it is.
Well,
that's a whole nother convo which we're going to get into.
Yeah. Listen, there's too much. You know what 2020. Let's I know. So let's say last year. People may or may not know I'm a promoter as well, so I do a promotion called Mr. Unwind. This man here, from when I was going to the games, I've been to PFAs, I've been to this, I've been to that. I've met all the players that I ever wanted to meet. Sign pictures, this, that, Ronaldo, Boogie, Underground, Manchester, bruv. The stories to tell. This we could make a film out of it, and there'll be a part 2 and 3. So, 2020 was not the year for anybody that I know. Personally, it's just been a battle. 2019, I was talking to Ems about getting some stuff done, and we last year we went on a little what was it, meet and greet with the whole Barnsley and Howard Gale. So it was basically, it wasn't this, it was a couple of, it was what, March, April last year? Something like that, anyway. Come down, went to Hayes, done a theatre. Great night, to be fair. It was a good night. It was lots of banter. Yeah, it's good turnout, and it was all Liverpool fans. This, by the way, this is not just going to be a Liverpool channel. It's, You know,
That's
I
what
know
I
a lot. I know a lot of athletes, a lot of sports personalities in the cricket.
You just brought me here so you could pick on me.
Nah, bruv. Nah, you're doing much more than that. But yeah, it's gonna be it. I had a talk with Emile about doing a meet and greet and what's not. We had a couple of places booked. Well, I had a couple of places booked. I just needed to tell him when and where, to be honest. But it just all went out the window. So this is kind of come about, and it's another angle. So hopefully you will see 4 and 5 of us here, Emile included. I mean, there's a few I don't want to name drop, but there's a good few people, a couple of people that I've seen doing the punditry. Clinton, he's got to come because I need to slap him in his face anyway. So you need it. I swear I owe him a slap for something. I don't know what it is, for something. Pennant, Jermaine, you know what I mean? That's just the ones that our good friend Emerson Boyce. You know what I mean? Not a lot.
He's doing well.
Yeah, he's doing well. He's got his own.
Just
Yeah, she's been made a judge. Is it a judge?
first black female judge.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Miss
That's
Boyce, congratulations. Thank you very much for holding the torch high for us, and we're very proud of you. Yeah, I've met his sister many times. She's been to a few promotions of but in how should I put it? I met Emerson through Emile, and I met Emerson's sister through Emerson, obviously. Why? Because I used to do the whole back in the day pimp my ride before all these other people was doing it. When there's the little reverse cameras and bumper sensors and all that, they weren't standard in your car, and that's what I did. I put them in there for a lot of players over the years. And there's just a few that I still am in contact with, and definitely would love to have them on the channel, have them on the show.
You have to speak to Boyce to get his sister on.
No, I'll speak to his sister myself.
But this
I've got her number.
That feeds into what I said before, representation and how you present yourself within a certain realm.
Yeah.
So his sister now is opening up for other children to be looking. Oh wow, I could be like that. Do you know what I mean? And that is great to see.
They got something visual.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
To have a reference
we are
with.
visual because 100%. We see people. I would love to be like that.
Yeah.
Well, what about all them players that come up to you and said?
That's what he was leading back to, isn't it?
Yeah.
Me seeing him and the likes of Righty back in the day. It's just like you see a vision, and then you can be like, right, then that's not somebody. It could be me.
Yeah.
And it just changes the narrative. So love for that.
Yeah, but I mean, there's 2020. You might as well just call it a write-off.
It's almost done.
It's done. Thankfully, there's.
But you say it's a write-off, so can I just say that it's brought a lot of people together?
Yes.
Well, listen.
I like that.
I hear that,
I like that.
and that's a valid point, my friend. If it wasn't,
think outside the box.
This wouldn't be happening if it wasn't so-called write-off. But as another fella that I always watch, I ain't gonna name drop, but I always watch him on the YouTube and what's not, and he turns his losses into wins. So this is win, lose or draw. We don't emphasize on the lose because I don't think anybody that will be interviewed or spoken to or just being in the company of will be losers regardless.
Win, learn, and draw.
Win, learn, and draw.
Win, learn, or draw.
All right. Well, we're not gonna. We're patting the thing already. Yeah. So we're not change it, bruv. Yeah. If you
put emphasis on the learn, isn't it? Because like you said, you don't have to be a loss.
It's not a loss. It's just a title, and we're using it. The lose will put in very small print.
Got to learn from everything, though, innit?
Yeah,
even if it was considered a loss, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No.
I think learning.
But that's what I mean. 2020 for a lot of people is a loss.
Yeah.
For me, overall, it's a loss. But there was winning points in it.
Yeah.
For sure. And this is one point here.
Yeah,
I don't. You know me. I'm always in the background. I'm a shadow. There's a lot of people who just hear
I
and.
had to drag him out. I told you I had to touch him.
Well, listen. I'm out now, innit? So the lion don't. I'll bite you. Don't mess about, yeah. there's so many stories. There's so many things.
Yeah.
As the man himself said, he has to come back. There's
Yeah, man.
he's we haven't mentioned his book. We're gonna
Yeah,
put the book up in that corner. Yeah. Put the book
That
up in
one.
that corner.
That
Yeah,
one.
that corner.
That
Yeah,
one.
right there. We've got to plug that. We've got to do.
Have to.
There's
Representation, as we said.
oh mate, I'm gonna get on the phone to Barnsley. I've got to get on the phone to Howard himself. There's loads of people who need to be in and around. There's a couple of pundits and obviously Ems knows everybody. So I'm gonna rub his head like a genie and see what magic I can get out of it. Send and yeah, it's simple as that. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, man.
It's been short and sweet,
Yeah.
but
Very.
he's come down. He's doing other works. He's come down and taking his time out for us. So I thank you very much for that. He's got a long trip back home. Doesn't matter. We're all in tier 1, so don't watch nothing. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
just keep it. Yeah, keep it clean.
We're currently
Keep
in
it
Antigua.
distant. With Antigua, bruv. Yeah, that's all you need to know. And that is that. So, on behalf of all my Liverpool supporters, we didn't even touch on that, you know.
No,
We didn't
let's
even
leave
touch
that,
on it.
Please.
Are we gonna
Leave
leave
that. Yeah,
But no, because listen, you know why? We know why I got to touch on it.
Why?
Because earlier this year, we got a brushing. Yeah,
Okay.
we got 7-3 by Villa.
Mhm.
Yeah, so this now, it's not with Mourinho. You know, I'm not gonna go into my thoughts of him and what's not. You know, he's in his own right. The facts can't lie. He's a great manager. He's done great things. But we if we were to dissect it, people say, yeah, but he done this because of that, and that's because of this and that. Nah, give him his dues. He's a good manager. But when he tries to play mind games with my friend Mr. Klopp, yeah, don't do that, yeah? Because remember, I'll just send man to your yard, yeah? Don't mess with that. Anyway, the whole... yeah, we deserve to win. Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm going to leave on that note. So, yeah, thank you very much. Been a pleasure.
Thank you, Ems, for coming through, man. Big love.
Stay 1 seat apart. Keep your distance. He ain't got corona because he gets tested. What, once a week? Once a week. Boy, I ain't got one yet, blood. We can't send a corona around this. Yeah, I'll say that, and he's probably seen me on the drip or something. Yeah. Until the next time we meet. Part 1 is done.
Win, lose, or draw.
Done.
I'm saying.
Later.
That's up.